Hey guys, I'm going to be reacting to Shan and her most recent live. So let's take a look.
Okay, I'm gonna go live about 4 minutes early here. Can you guys let me know in the chat how everything is going? If you can hear me, let me know. I'm already getting emotional. This is gonna go well.
So the first thing I noticed is that she's approaching us with humility, and uh, her voice is a little bit higher in terms of its soprano. And we haven't heard that from Shan over the years. And I don't know what that means, but I'm just saying that's a deviation from her baseline. Now, one of the things that I've been upset about in the community is basically us overreaching on each other's privacy. And so what we need to do is we need to uh, cover each other up. That's what we need to do with with blankets and say, "Oh, it's okay. I'm going to put a blanket over you." And this blanket's going to make it so you are covered, and this is a blanket that's going to cover you and protect you from bad people. And so that's what I intend to do in this video. And obviously, what's difficult about objective personality is we study the objective psyche, and that can be difficult on our subjectivity. And as I've said in previous videos, I believe subjectivity is intractable. It's intractable. You can't get rid of subjectivity. Objectivity is simply like putting on a pair of glasses. It's only a external part of what we're doing here. So I'm going to react to Shan. There's been a lot of spotlight on me in the Facebook, and I know there's a lot of spotlight on Dave and Shan all the time, but sometimes the best thing you can do is just air things out. Just air things out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to listen. I'm going to only listen to like the first 3 minutes. Right.
If you can hear me, chat. It'll be the few first. I'll hit this one first. Then I thought I was gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna be here just for a few minutes. Wow, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be.
This is hard. So what she's having to do here is what I would call the weave. So that's one of the things that I think is really admirable about Shan, is that she is good at the weave, and that's what her reaction videos are doing. They're taking the raw information, and then she's navigating her way through reacting to that directly. And that's sort of difficult because there is a certain element of you're exposed. You're exposed. Uh, People can see you while you're doing it. It's like someone's watching you boxing. They can tell how good you are. Whereas with some of Dave's videos, you can tell that Dave is just like trying to hold together the mantle. So he's not going to take too many unnecessary risks. And that's left Shan with the role of being like this kind of outgoing champion when it comes to her live typings. So what she's about to do, I would say, is something that Consume does, not so much Blast, is she's about to navigate a minefield. That's what she's about to do. So let's see.
Official Objective Personality Study Group is a Facebook group. I put a question, or I put a post in there, and I put an audio that says, it's kind of a quick audio of how I'm doing, basically what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing a live personal Q&A today, and I gave my reasons, my reasons in the audio there. So I'm
So she does seem a little bit unfocused, and the opcode is clearly bothering her. Uh, I think it bothers all of us. And notice how her voice got deeper. I'd say that means that she entered into like where she does her the most basically weightlifting mentally. So when her voice goes deeper, now all of a sudden she's the big bully on the block, and she's like, you can't beat me because my muscles are too big here. But also that's a compensation for how she feels a little bit threatened. Mm-hmm.
I'm basically going to just be doing a personal one. I was going to be doing a Hans Zimmer sneak peek today, but I just felt very inauthentic doing like getting on here with what I'm going through this week. So we're going to do some personal questions. Also, yeah, sorry, my brain hasn't quite turned on yet, but I will be able to get moving in a minute here. So if you want to go ask questions, go to that Facebook group, ask some questions there, and that's what today's thing is going to be. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else do I need to tell the Facebook or the YouTube? For the YouTube fam, I'm going to be yeah, let's start with that. Let's start with I heard you and Dave split up. So 5 minutes on this. Dave and I split up. We actually split up about 4 years ago. We didn't talk about it to the public because many reasons, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Wow, that's an interesting question. So I had to move this week, and I'm going through a lot in my personal life. So that is why I am having a very hard week. And just kind of wanted to basically talk to you guys while I'm going through a really hard week so that you can.
So right now she's doing the weave for her life, or at least her livelihood. And her feeling function knows that. So guys, the feeling function mediates the unconscious. And I'd say the thinking function mediates linguistic consciousness. So the unconscious is the bedrock of everything that's real. Often Dave and Shan are struggling with what is real? What does real even mean? Is this real? Am I even real? What is real? Guys, once you realize that the so-called unconscious is the bedrock of all that is real, it will relieve that entire rat's nest. That entire rat's nest will come untangled if you understand that what you're doing when you're questioning reality is it's your conscious mind trying to look like the eye of Sauron in the Lord of the Rings for what is real. But ultimately, you are real. If you don't eat, you die. If you don't sleep, you die. If you don't have this business, you don't get money. So ultimately, what the feeling does is it grounds everything out. And what I think Dave and Shan are realizing is, yes, they've branched out, but now they're realizing that their roots are a little bit unstable. So now they have to bring all that attention down back to their roots, and that's going to involve a lot of emotion. So yeah, let's just be there for them and continue to watch.
See that we are not perfect and we go through stuff, and that the code is real. And that yeah, we are human. So yeah, I'll get into that.
We are not perfect. The code is real, and we are human. First of all, nobody thinks you're perfect. We've known that for 5 years. We think you're far from perfect. So let's get that right out of the way. The code is real. We've been seeing overlap with the code. The code is definitely real. It's definitely real. And anything else is obviously a lie because we've got all this empirical evidence that the code is real. Anything else is just an argument within the bounds of that reality. So if I say I'm an IJ and not an IP, that doesn't mean the opcode is not real. That just means I'm really hard to type. Because why? I don't know. Maybe I'm deceitful. There's a lot of things that could be going on. But I don't think Dave and Shan's obsession with gathering more people is good for them. I think they need to start to talk to their most senior members and start to figure out with their other people, okay, what is this real thing? They need to start going info dominant with their best and brightest students. They need to start hosting like discussion groups that are exclusive, so members only, and only if you've been there for like 2 years, right? At least. Form a little inner circle and start talking these things through, especially with the smarter info dominant types, especially with the smarter NF types. There's some really good NF people in this community, you guys. Start talking these things through with these NF people, and you guys will get to the bottom of, okay, what's this real thing? Because right now what's going on is you guys have all these amazing observations, and those are your products. And it's like this eyeball at the top of the hierarchy is the opcode. But then it's founded upon all these other things. Maybe you guys have a slightly weak vocabulary in some places. Maybe that needs to be strengthened. You know what would help that? Seeing a therapist. Maybe you guys need to find, maybe Shan should find like a really good female ESFP therapist who ends up becoming her friend. And what would happen is that ESFP therapist, and somebody she really respects, like a really cool visual blast last ESFP therapist, and just discuss these things. Because what you need to do is you need to talk it out. What that does is it strengthens your linguistic ability to defend yourself from anyone who would linguistically attack you, because you're talking these things through. And slowly but surely, it's like a really bad knot. You start to like work away at it. And pretty soon it all just unravels at once.
That in a minute. Let's see what else. What else do I need to tell the Facebook or the YouTube group? YouTube. Sorry, I'm very blast last because I'm in my FI. At the end of the last live show that I did, Davey and I get on. We're doing great. We've been working together for years now, not together. So
her attitude, it does sound like she's a little angry, like she doesn't deserve this. And I don't think she does, and I don't think anybody thinks she does. I think what we need to do is we need to stop enabling her, and we need to start saying, hey, 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 like, you need to start trusting some people at the top. So think of your best people, the people you really trust, who are intelligent and will actually tell you what they think or how they feel or what they value, who are willing to not bend their DI at your every whim. Find those people and talk to them. And you don't have to help them. For once, let them help you. They know the opcode too. Let them help you. Let them shine their light on you, and find the compassionate people. Don't talk to the people who are your cheerleaders. Talk to the people who are actually compassionate. I'm talking like somebody like, Gabor Mate, like some dude who's just so leveled up on compassion. His compassion stats are over 9,000. And he's not just gonna tell you that you're just the most amazing thing. Oh my God, you're so amazing. You're so amazing. Oh my God, you're such an inspiration. It's like, well, we've seen previous videos where things are feeling strange, and it's like, if you guys are harboring secrets or something, or you have guilt in your heart, then that might need an info way out. So what should you do? You should find your info dominant senior members and you reach out to them. This is the problem, is Dave and Shan, they are like EJs, but they have all the pride of the IPs and the number ones. How did that happen? Nobody knows. But they just think even these three people, no, you need to talk to these three people below you, right? These people are not your footstools, right? You don't have to be so insular about this. The code is going to live. We are going to make sure of that. The code is a gift from God, by the way. It's not a gift from you. You didn't invent this. This is not something that you invented, Shan and Dave. Right? You are the stewards. You are the stewards. You are the humble and wretched stewards of an extremely powerful and real technology. And you need to treat yourselves with that much respect. You need to treat yourselves with that much respect and with that much disrespect. Like, no. This system is not me, and it doesn't all come down to me. And even if I do lose an argument with someone, the system won't die, and my livelihood won't die because I am a humble steward. You don't have to almighty smite every person with your almighty lightning bolt of the opcode. That's not your job, Shan.
So you can go ahead and see us talking at the end of the latest live show Q&A. All you have to do is go to the home, our membership area, click on the live show button. It's the latest live show where we talk at the very end about, we just kind of basically update the community on what's going on. And that's about it. It just shows you how we're doing.
So a lot of these faces are reflective of what some psychoanalysts online, like body language people, call defiance. So right now she's in defiance. She's in defiance. And defiance is when you feel like you're more dominant and an inferior is trying to dominate you. And that's actually where anger comes from, is when an inferior treats you like they are the superior. And I'd say that's also where hate comes from. And this is all set up with serotonin and status hierarchies in primates. This is all established in the scientific literature, in the literature for serotonin and the literature for status hierarchies. So that's when two monkeys are interacting. They observe, why does one monkey get mad at the other monkey? It's because the dominant monkey or chimp is being treated poorly by an inferior, by a subordinate chimp. And the dominant chimp deserves its status. It's older, it's more experienced, it's wiser, it makes less mistakes, so it doesn't want to hear talk back from a subordinate chimp. So that's one of the definitions of anger from a sort of animal behavior perspective. And the unconscious is that which we share with animals. And then consciousness is what makes humans different. Does that make sense? So if you want to understand not just the feeling function, but the emotional core or the soul, and by the way, I equate the unconscious with the soul to a certain extent, you should study animals. If you want to understand that, like the emotional center, go and study animals. And the best place to go, probably chimpanzees. They're the most sophisticated of the primates next to humans, arguably. They're the most sophisticated, they're the smartest, they're the cleverest. They have the largest groups. They actually hunt for meat. A lot of primates don't hunt for meat at all. They just eat fruit. Study chimpanzees. If you want to become emotionally real onto your anti-consciousness and watch the rise of the warrior apes. Go ahead. It's pay-per-view on Amazon Prime. And you'll just figure everything will fall into place. Just watch that. Everything will begin to make sense as to how hierarchy works in relation to status. And these two diagrams will begin to make sense too, to a certain extent. To a certain extent. And this one is really shown off in that Rise of the Warrior Apes documentary, whereas this hierarchy is a little bit more difficult to understand. But I'd say what they really figure out is that the male chimps organize themselves strictly into this hierarchy, and the female chimps basically organize themselves strictly into this hierarchy. That's basically what that whole documentary is about. Rise of the Warrior Apes.
He and I are friends. We're working together and we're doing fine. And yeah, I'm so sorry. This is so blast so far. I've never felt so blast on camera in my life. Actually, it probably started this way, very much so. Like in the early days, this is probably what it was, and just everything got edited out. When I'm not in an FI state, I can talk a lot better. But yeah, my whole body is filled with chemicals. All right. So I think that's all I really need to say to the YouTube community at this point. I'm sorry that it was scheduled an hour earlier. It just got set up that way. So I'm sorry about that. It was never supposed to be at that time. It was always supposed to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm sorry that it got set up that way. I apologize for that. But yeah, sorry you thought it was starting then. But
So Shan has talked about how in the past Dave has reprimanded her for not being good at blasting on camera. But Shan discovered the animal pairings. So a part of this system belongs to her. And what happens with science is that if you discover something, what the scientific community does is they say, damn it, you discovered that. We will die before we let anyone take that credit from you. We will forcibly honor who discovered what. That is the honor system in science. So if you discovered those animal pairings, then damn it, we're giving you a Nobel Prize. Even if you suck at everything else in your life, you discovered that for all of humanity. Guess what? That was a gift. And why the hell would we take that for granted?
I wasn't even going to do this today. I was thinking I was going to cancel today because there was just no way with how I was feeling this week that I was going to be able to do the sneak peek. But then I was like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to do this so that I can use this for blasting so I can get out of my bed and stop crying, basically. I have a whole Kleenex box here. I'm ready. So that's basically why I'm doing this. I wanted you guys to kind of see live what it looks like to go through, FI last, decider, EJ, masculine TE struggles. So yeah, here we are. So yes, 4 years. I know that's freaking hilarious. Yes, we have been broken up for 4 years. We have been broken. I'll say this so that
Okay, so after this point, I just watched it the other day. After this point, it really gets real. But it's almost like she stands at a precipice, or she's standing over some kind of river or body of water, and she's deciding whether or not she's going to jump in. That's how it feels. She's about to jump a long way down, and she's going, whoa, scary, right? So she's like, it's like she's about to jump into some water. She's like, whoa, that's a long way down. And here's where she jumps. So we're about to see her jump into that river and face that fear. So let's see it.
Yeah, I guess YouTube community, any questions that you have, I'll answer a few questions there, and then I'll head over to the membership area, just because a lot of the stuff I want to talk about, I don't really feel comfortable doing it yet on YouTube. That's all. That's all. So yeah, ask away, YouTube fam, and I will answer as many questions as I can quickly. We were together for 9 years. We were dating for 9 years, married for one, and split for 4 years. And the let's see, I'm going to get really honest. This is going to be very honest. The reason why we spool or where am I at? Man, my brain is having a hard time with this. The reason why we didn't tell everyone was because just honestly, having been in the personality community for 7 years now, 7, 8 years now. I was helping Davey when he was doing his little like audios with just the slideshows back in the day. So I've been doing this for a long time. But there was always a lot of comments, and also there was like two comments that I knew were coming, and I've literally been arguing with the comments in my head for years now, and I just didn't want to fucking hear it. I did not want to hear it. The comments that I knew were coming were, if you can't make your relationship work, then obviously op is a lie. So that was the first one that I knew was coming, and hilariously so, it was absolutely said. The second one was, you've been lying to us. You've been lying to us, so therefore everything is a lie. So literally, I think it's literally been me arguing in my head with observers. And I'll say this. I'll say it's like the 1% of observers that still believe that the sky is falling and conspiracies are real. But yeah, that those two arguments are ones that I've been having with people in my head for years. So I just was like, not only do I not want to have that argument, um, I don't want to have that conversation, because it's, for me, I'm a double observer, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to entertain crazy talk. You know what I mean? All while dealing with something that is so personal and also so raw at the time, and is also directly related to my business. So you guys got to understand something, that when you have thousands of people online watching you and they also have opinions about your marriage, they assume that they know what is going on with your marriage, because it's they see you and Dave on camera, and therefore that must be what your relationship is like in real life. So they have an investment in it. They have an investment in this relationship. So there's need energy there. And then also your relationship is connected to your business. So your money, your bills, your house, your home, your family, and everything that is taken care of by that business is all connected to that. And also this mission that you have taken on, this, idealistic mission that you've taken on of, I have to do this, is also directly connected to that. And
So when she says the word you do this and that, that's called the second person. So one thing that might be hard for Shan is literally talking in the first person. It might be hard for her to say the personal pronoun I. She wants so badly for people, it seems, from this, to see her perspective and to walk a mile in her shoes. But what's actually going wrong might be more deceiving. It might be that we're all angry because you never say the word I. If you're incapable of saying I, then you're incapable of taking personal responsibility for a situation. And obviously she's probably said I throughout this video, but this is just conjecture. It's like what if we are angry for that reason? And you guys keep like bobbing and weaving behind the word we. We did this, and wait. Who did what? What's going on? Where are we? Why are you guys just always disappearing and reappearing? It's like, are we dealing with people, or are we dealing with these like shape shifting uh, monsters from Alien versus Predator. Like, Dave and Shan literally think they're friggin' Alien versus Predator up in this. Like, no, 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 no. That's not how you want to think about psychology. Psychology, you're more like a mama to a baby. This is not Alien versus Predator.
Ties in with your identity. It ties in with things that you've signed your name to, and you're now, like, that's now put into question. Because one of the things, if you've ever been a business owner, like, I mean, if you follow stocks, this. You say one thing and everything drops. Oh, you know what? They're getting a divorce. Memberships start dropping. I now don't want to be in their membership anymore. Everything they say is a lie. And now, if I don't go and babysit that comment, more people start getting spooked, spiked, freaked out, and all while you're in your own personal world dealing with these really stressful emotional things that you don't have control over necessarily, because you're like, I know what's going on. I know the op code.
Okay, so, right, she knows what's going on. She knows the opcode, right? But you still have to be heroic. And that's what you're doing right now. So I can't get on here and just give you FE tips or TE tips and say, "Oh, I have all the solutions to all your problems." No. The solution is to do exactly what you're doing right now. That is the magic solution. This is how you reconcile DI and DE, is you get on camera and you tell the DE and you weave with your DI, and you don't tell them all the things that you shouldn't tell them, and you do tell them the things that you should tell them, and you fight them and you get some hits in and you bob and weave, right? This is the solution. What you're doing is the big solution. You found it. Congratulations. You get to live, your business gets to live, the tribe gets to live, the system gets to live. Because you just did this. You were heroic. But you had to do this. You had to do this. This is the win. This is how you get free. And you just did it. And that is what Tony Robbins means when he says, take massive action. So all of these bad voices, and Shan has talked about the peanut gallery, that want to like eat her. It's like there are a bunch of piranhas or something that are trying to eat her, and she feels like she's swimming with sharks or something. And it's all being bottled up. It's like you have to start throwing punches, Shan. And that's what you're doing in this video. This is that you are winning right now at this live. We
I
don't
have the
care about I don't care about your relationship. I don't give a damn about any of that. I'm just trying to save my own ass. And so is everyone. And I think all these people who are laying hands on you and we need to pray for Shanny. We need to pray for Shanny. Let's lay our hands on Shanny and pray for Shanny. They just want to see the system succeed. I don't know. I think people are being too lovey. It's like sometimes real compassion involves exorcising a person's demon, like an exorcist. Like you show them a cross and you go, "Be gone, demon, be gone, demon. The power of Christ compels you," right? Like sometimes that's real compassion, you guys. It's not just to say, "Yes, yes, 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 you're right. Yes, mommy, yes."
Rosetta Stone. I see what's happening here,
Right, she sees
and
what's
I
happening.
my own self.
But you still have
As
to take massive action. Okay, you have the info. You have the info. Now take the action. Yeah, we got a divorce, whatever. It was something didn't work. We were too stressed. We were too busy. It was probably our fault that you guys. It was probably our fault, right? But you still have to take the action. Otherwise, we're left in the dark and we're left alone. Because we're taking action. We're fighting. We're out in the arena. Get in the arena. Get your ass in the arena. As Brene Brown says, get your ass in the arena. And guess what? if you get your behind in the arena, I'm gonna have your back. But I'm not gonna have your back if you're not in the arena, because I'm in the arena, and you guys have been in the arena. But you have to bring your actual DI. You cannot fake real engagement, because the soul is real and non-fungible and capable of taking real losses. The soul is the manner in which you can genuinely lose things in life. And the same goes for winning. The soul is the manner. I think of the soul literally as like a bank account for wins and losses. And I think that has to do with serotonin. But the problem with SSRIs is they can't fix that for you, because you still have to take action in life.
As a human, I still have my brain wiring hooked up to be 1000% triggered and completely miss and understand the person next to me because they are 1000% triggered on something completely different. So you have to understand what that actually feels like and why we wouldn't tell people. Like, there's been a few comments that just really bother me, where it's like, I deserved to know this extremely private, personal information. Um, why do you care so much? Just be you. Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna get spicy. If you're going, let's, like, you guys just had Christmas recently, right? If you have if you have your entire family around at a Christmas table and their opinions of you are could possibly be extremely critical, and you're like, "Hey, fam, we're getting a divorce," and they're like, "Okay, take your I'm going to now take your business from you. I'm going to take your home from you, and I'm going to take your peace from you, and you can't get away from it because there's all of us 24/7 want to be able to call you, text you, private message you, email you, and if you don't answer me, I'm upset about this, and we deserve to know."
Okay, you need to delegate then. You need to delegate. The problem is you're way at the top of the hierarchy and you're not delegating any responsibility to these three people. Those people that you've hired, whatever their names are, start having people communicate with them. You need to grow them. Grow them and have them be your first line of defense. So now everyone's talking to them. Not You don't owe everyone your soul. You do not owe your soul. God doesn't owe us that. Don't then come into the Facebook and screw with me, because I don't owe you that either. And I'm just going to chop you down. Because now you're coming onto my property, which is my soul, my wins and losses, right? So have a line of defense. It doesn't all have to be you. Start electing some lieutenants. Did I spell that right? No. Close. Lieu, tenants. Lieu. Lieu. That must be a French word. Typically, words with that many vowels are French. They come from the French occupation of Great Britain, which began in 1066 when William the Conqueror conquered Britain, and French was the language of the aristocracy for like 400 years after. That's why English is actually so heavily influenced and deeply similar to French in so many more ways than we realize. A good way to strengthen your vocabulary is to start to understand which words come from where. And if you strengthen your vocabulary, then you won't be afraid of arguments anymore because you'll have the words that you need, which are like arrows in your sling, at the ready. So when I say the word lieutenant, I can remember that word because I know it's French. So I have this background of info on that word.
Every single thing about your life's purpose, your business and your marriage and how it broke down. And you need to tell us all of this stuff or else. And it's your entire family. They're all sitting around a table. They're all looking at you and saying, I need to know this information. If you're hiding this information, it's because you're a fraud. You're lying. You're like, okay, this is hard enough as is. This is hard enough as is. Like, information that is hidden is not necessarily hidden because it's a lie. Sometimes it's just none of your damn business. I mean, like,
Right. There's a difference. There's a difference between wearing clothes and lying. Wearing clothes is about protecting your nakedness. And this goes out not just to Shan, but to the viewer. You don't owe anyone your nakedness. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video today. And I really appreciate all of Shan's thoughts and how brave and heroic she was in getting into the arena and doing this video. So thanks so much, guys, for watching and hanging in there with me. And I hope I was plenty cordial and that my criticisms were constructive and hopefully will be received with some level of sympathy, despite the fact that it's not really my place to weigh in. Too bad. I'm done hiding. I'm done not airing things out. Let's just get this to a normal community of people. Friggin' after 5 years where we all can friggin' talk. Like, have some lieutenants. It doesn't all have to go through you guys. You guys aren't friggin' little godlings or whatever. Like, let that go. You are wretched stewards of a technology, and so are we. And you need to start sharing your burden with us because this is not all your shit. So just let that shit go and stop acting like children all the time.